Hello and welcome. Today we are going to explore the important psychological topic of self-fulfilling prophecy. We are going to identify what is self-fulfilling prophecy, how can we avoid its pitfalls, and how can we use it to elevate our lives. I am Kanu Sankara, a purpose development coach, a military leader with over a decade leadership experience, and I am a psychology student. Come on. I'm going to start off today's lesson with a personal experience. Now, in the course of one of my duties, I was required to work with a particular female police officer. Now, everyone who knew her told me that she was extremely difficult to deal with. I listened to what they had to say, but internally, I made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to allow their experiences and perception of her dictate my interaction with her. And sure enough, in our first meeting, she was cold, she was distant, and she was a bit difficult. But I remained true to my decision. I was firm, but I was respectful, and I didn't give in to her attitude. And as time progressed, she began to warm up, and eventually, we developed a professional relationship that lasted long after we were required to interact. Now, I'm going to relate this story to today's lesson. What is self fulfilling prophecy? Self fulfilling prophecy is having an expectation of how someone is, which influences your actions towards them, which causes the individual to behave consistently with the expectation, and thus making the self fulfilling prophecy become a reality. In this case, the understood expectation of Miss Police Officer is that she is difficult. So had I gone along with this expectation, my actions towards her probably would have also been to be difficult or even condescending, which would have now reinforced her attitude, and she would have behaved consistently with my expectation and thus making it become a reality. And I would have walked away truly believing that she is a difficult person without realizing that I directly contributed to the result. Think about it. How many times have you gone into a situation with an expectation of someone, and based on that expectation, your actions towards that person cause that person to respond just as how you believe that they are? There's also something that is very interesting about self fulfilling prophecy in that it happens automatically, and we may not even be aware that we are directly contributing to a reality. Law enforcement officers can find themselves in situations like this one. For example, if a community is deemed to be violent, the law enforcement officers may expect that all or most of the young men in this community are violent. And when they interact with these young men, they may come with that expectation. And the young men may respond aggressively towards the law enforcement officers. And thus, the law enforcement officers have a confirmation in their mind that these young men are violent because it lines up with their expectation. And self fulfillment prophecy does not only work with someone's expectation of another, it also works with an individual's expectation of themselves. For example, you may have heard someone always saying that they are clumsy. That is because they come to have an expectation of clumsiness from themselves. And wherever they go, accidents follow, thereby confirming to them in their mind that they are clumsy. But how do we overcome this powerful effect of self fulfillment prophecy? We first need to become aware of our expectations. We need to be aware of what we expect of another person and what we expect of ourselves. We also need to not buy in to another person's perception of an individual and go with it. We need to critically analyze every situation and every interaction. That is how we overcome this seemingly damning effect of self fulfillment prophecy. We have to be aware of our expectations and take the necessary steps to not act in alignment with this expectation so that the individual will not respond and act consistently with our expectation. We need to approach every circumstance from a neutral position as much as possible. However, self fulfillment prophecy isn't only negative, it can be used consciously in a positive direction. For example, if someone believes that they are a success, they will have an expectation of success in everything that they do. And this expectation of success is going to cause other persons around them to treat them as a success. And they too will treat themselves as a success, thereby increasing their chances of becoming successful in any undertaking. And there you have it, self fulfillment prophecy. We get whatever we expect because our actions are influenced by our expectations, and thus we reap the reward of that expectation from ourselves and from others. But of course, all is not lost. Once we become aware of our expectations, we can take the necessary steps by ensuring that our actions are not in alignment with our expectations so that we will not have a self fulfillment prophecy becoming our reality. And we can also use it to our benefit by using the same principle and taking a positive approach in anything that we do to ensure that we increase our chances of achieving that which we set out to achieve. I hope that you find this information valuable. And if you do, please share with others. Leave a comment and let me know of your experience with self fulfilling prophecy. And if you haven't done so as yet, please subscribe and I will see you in the next video.